Hey everyone, let's make cakesicles today, the one dessert that disappears the fastest at kids' birthday parties. You can make them with the soccer theme or just plain cakesicles in any color you want. The process is the same. So let's get started. For about 30 to 35 small cakesicles, crumble 750 grams of moist chocolate cake. Add 250 grams of frosting and mix to combine. You can find the cake and frosting recipes in the video description. To make the chocolate shells, start by melting candy melt in a microwave-safe bowl. Melt it in 3 30-second increments, stirring after each time. Then reduce the time to 10-second increments, mixing again after each time, until the candy melts reach a temperature of 42 degrees Celsius. Allow the chocolate to cool to 32-33 degrees Celsius before you start working with it. Add melted chocolate into each silicone mold cavity. Use a flat paintbrush to brush the chocolate on the bottom and sides of the mold cavity. Tap the mold a few times to smooth out the chocolate in the mold and release any air bubbles. While the chocolate is still wet, insert the popsicle stick 2 to 3 times, then remove it. This will ensure the chocolate doesn't cover the hole in which you're gonna insert the popsicle stick later on. Place the mold into the freezer for 1 to 2 minutes or in the fridge for 5 minutes, just until the chocolate hardens. Remove the mold from the freezer or fridge and allow it to come to room temperature. Repeat the steps to paint another layer of white chocolate, especially on the sides of each cavity. This time, spoon the melted chocolate into the cavity and paint one cavity at a time, as the chocolate will harden much faster. Insert the popsicle stick. You can remove it before letting the chocolate harden again. However, I found it easier to insert it and leave it in after the second coat or even after the first coat. That way there is no risk of the bottom part of the cakesicle shell breaking once the chocolate hardens and you push the popsicle stick back in. Know that if your chocolate or candy melts start to harden, you need to pop the ball in the microwave for 10 more seconds until the temperature reaches 32 to 33 degrees Celsius again. Chill this for a few minutes until the chocolate hardens. Add the cake and frosting mixture into the chocolate shell. Press it slowly and ensure you leave a bit of space on top to add more melted chocolate. Add 1 to 2 more teaspoons of melted chocolate on top and spread it into a thin layer. Gently tap the mold so that you can get a nice flat surface. Place the Cakesicles into the refrigerator or freezer until the chocolate hardens again. Remove them from the fridge or freezer and let them come to room temperature. Remove them slowly from the silicone mold. Note that this mold painting method of making Cakesicles gives you the nicest looking Cakesicles with a very smooth surface. There is another way to make Cakesicles using a dipping method, but this might give you more uneven or bumpy finish. To make soccer-themed Cakesicles, we'll just add a design with the usual hexagons found on a soccer ball. Dust your work surface with powdered sugar or cornstarch to ensure the fondant does not stick to it. Use a fondant rolling pin to thinly roll out white and black fondant. Cut out black and white hexagons using a small hexagon cutter. Place the fondant hexagons on the Cakesicles using a bit of water to attach them. Another option is to make these green and white marble Cakesicles. This look goes very well with the soccer theme and the other green and white desserts and decorations. To make the green and white marble look, melt the white candy melts following the same steps as before. Then add 2 to 3 drops of green oil-based food coloring. Stir 6 to 8 times until you get the marbled effect. Do not overmix as the marble effect will go away and you'll just end up with light green Cakesicles. Lastly, follow the same steps as before to paint the silicone mold cavities, fill the molds and remove the Cakesicles from the molds. Don't melt too much chocolate at once as you will likely have to reheat it in the microwave. This means that you'll also have to mix it and you will lose the marble effect. Lastly, if you need to refrigerate the cakesicles, place them in a cardboard box to limit the amount of moisture that the cakesicles might attract from the refrigerator. Then let them come to room temperature before serving them. That's it for today. Thanks for watching!